Let me turn off notifications on my phone.
I'm not going to.
Well, I just turned mine off, like ringer. It's on vibrate now.
Oh wait, that's not good for this podcast.
Hey guys,
Hey guys, welcome back to the Just
cousins.
podcast.
We're the Lonely Just Cousins podcast.
Why isn't Ty here?
So you may be thinking, we haven't uploaded video since what, like January, December?
December, actually, yeah.
So it's been really hard, but we had to let Ty go. And it's really difficult because he is family. But he started being really mean to Joseph. Like it was verbal abuse. I don't know if you want to. It's okay. Hey, it's okay.
I'm not gonna subject them.
The internet is a safe place.
I'm sorry.
There's no judgment.
I'm sorry.
There's no attacking. It's okay.
Now I'm sorry.
He also is. He pursues music and stuff, and he looked at us and he said, "This is more important to me than you guys," and I don't.
He basically called us irrelevant.
Yeah, and he said, "I think it would be easier if we all continued our lives without us being a part of each other's lives." Yeah. And
it's really disappointing that that's just where it went.
Especially because, I grew up with him.
Yeah.
We lived...
you're literally cousins.
We lived...
So you are literally just cousins.
We're blood cousins.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I'm an adopted cousin.
Yeah. But you know what? You're more of a cousin to me now because you're here.
Because I actually am active in your life.
Okay.
I love you.
He just couldn't make it this week.
No, keep the bit. No.
Oh yeah.
I didn't cry for nothing.
Well, if you think about it, Ty is kind of here with us.
Right here with us.
I asked him to send us a picture of him so he could still be a part of it. So yeah, Ty's technically still here. He just couldn't make it this week. And he said it would be okay if we continued to, we went ahead and did a few episodes. So,
well, you say we went ahead and did a few episodes. This is the first one we're doing.
Yeah, but we have another one planned.
That's way more interesting.
It's gonna be good.
Crazy.
And Ty is involved. He is involved.
He is actually directly involved.
Also, I was thinking about this while setting up. I don't mean this in a mean way whatsoever. But out of...
Oh, was that Ty? He's a... Oh, don't say that. You can't say that.
I turn off the screen. But while we were setting up all the equipment, I was like, dang, me and you are the ones with the equipment. So if anyone were to not be able to make it, the best case scenario would be Ty. It would be Ty can't make it because he has none of the equipment.
He himself is his own equipment.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Did I just call him an object?
I think
he's a happy little object.
Can we objectify a should we call him? Can we
call him?
Yeah.
Ask him if it's okay if we objectify him. Wait, not objectify. Well, yes. You know what I mean.
I actually don't at all.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi, Ty.
What is up?
Say hi to the podcast.
What is up, podcast listeners? How are you all doing?
We told them that you left and hated us.
And that you abandoned
That's
us because you're more
true.
famous than us.
I had the worship practice this weekend. I had the worship meeting. Also, Tyler made a last-minute appearance. Tyler, say hi. Yo.
Yeah.
There's such a pause.
Anyway.
Cool. Yeah,
Hi, Tyler.
What? Oh, we called.
Hey, guys.
to ask if it would be okay if we could objectify you.
I mean, I guess a little bit, as long as it's within reason.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Any last words you want to say?
Stay real, stay safe, stay.
Okay.
All right. Stay real, stay safe, guys. Whatever he was going to say next, who knows? It's up to Mystery now.
We're horrible.
That's great.
All
I
right.
love this podcast. You know what I think we should have done? At least made like a list of like what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we didn't.
I know
even
you have something.
completely unprepared.
Completely unprepared. Just started it. It's so weird because how conversation before everything goes on. And
Oh my gosh, we were popping off.
We were talking. We're like, wait, save this for the podcast. And now that the camera's on, it's like,
What were we talking? We were talking about Star Wars.
we were talking about Star Wars. We were talking about how like kids nowadays suck. We were
Oh,
talking
oh,
about the new generation.
I actually want to talk.
betas.
I do want to talk about how the new generation sucks.
Okay.
You start.
You start.
Okay.
Okay. Well, starting out, I don't know if we found this out necessarily. You just brought it up, and I didn't think about it. But we were talking about like alpha males and stuff, and how there's so many like alpha male podcasts and like learner courses and stuff out there. And we talked about maybe doing one day. So stay tuned. Maybe we'll do one. Who knows? But then we were like, okay, what's the generation we're in right now?
So we are Gen Z.
We're Gen Z.
I think Gen Alpha.
And then there's Gen
Beta is next.
And we're excited for Gen Beta. You
We're gonna
guys
be
better
a bunch of losers.
imagine betas.
Imagine next is Gen Sigma.
That would be really funny. That would be so great.
This is what happens whenever Ty's not here.
We just talk about alpha and betas and sigmas.
But it was also. We're not going to become an alpha podcast, by the way. That's stupid.
I mean,
dumb.
Other than the fact that we're objectifying Ty this episode, that's the only
that's
as alpha as we're gonna get. Is objectifying.
It's also Ty.
Individuals. That's also he's not a person. He's just Ty. Just like women. No, sorry. I'm joking. They can't drive.
Hey. Whoa. Stop. That's not true.
Wrong episode.
Wrong episode?
Stay tuned
for our Patreon, where we are actually the worst people ever.
Yep.
We don't have a Patreon.
I still really want a Patreon where I have my little, what was it I had? I like my little hot takes corner or something, like Joseph's hot take corner.
That'd be funny.
I remember we talked about it one episode.
Ty.
Where I like do some crazy
Ty
stuff.
wants me to start doing like little 10-minute segments or something where I come up with absolutely crazy, ridiculous stories. And
like real or no?
No, it's like Mater's Tall Tales.
Ooh, wait, that would actually kind of be fun.
Like that'd just be funny. So I don't know. Do you guys want that? I'm talking to the
pay for that
12 people watching right now. One of them being my dad.
Oh,
hey, Dad.
I don't know if we brought this up, but we have more female listeners.
Oh yeah, we have.
I looked this up, so I was looking up the statistics while he was making coffee. And I like found out that we have like a 56% female audience, and like
so, ladies, this guy right here is single. This guy right here is also single as of right now. This guy right here is not.
Off limits.
He's dating.
Back off.
My sister.
What?
Okay. Nothing.
I do it all the time.
That's.
She actually doesn't let me kiss her ever. She actually doesn't really want me to hug her. We're actually not talking very much right now.
Healthy relationships.
Guys, you know, it's great.
Hey.
I'm crying twice this episode. This is just me fake crying this whole time. Oh my gosh.
That's our topic today.
Anyways,
Joseph just
me crying.
How did we get here?
I'm just bringing up stuff that we already talked about.
How
did
we were talking about
alpha males or something.
Anyways, no, what I did want to talk about that was interesting is like specifically for our generation, Gen Z, I feel like it's cut in half. where like at like 2005 or like 2006, there's a point where Gen Z like still remembers like older media. Like I remember like VHS tapes and flip phones.
Yeah.
And like I remember we'd be in the car and we'd like still put in cassettes and stuff. And like I don't even know if Brant even like remembers that. But like there's a point where there's like a part of Gen Z where they're like iPad kids.
Yeah.
And it's just very interesting seeing the difference between the two, because I also don't think there was a time in history where like a single generation can be so different depending on what part of it you were born in.
Because it's wild, because we grew up with like, I'm not trying to say, I'm going to try and like tread carefully.
Yeah.
Because like this generation, I feel like our generation, we had to like use our imagination so much.
Oh, for sure.
Like going outside, like, dude, I would find like a stick that looked like Captain Rex's pistols.
Yes.
And I had that thing for like 3 years because I was like, this is just a prized possession. Because I loved the Clone Wars when I was a kid. And this was like early on when I was a kid. Like, but I don't even remember where I was trying to go with that. But I'm not saying that like kids nowadays aren't as creative, but there's just so much more iPad kids now.
I also have like younger cousins, and they have like a ton of imagination. Like one of them draws all the time, and it's so cool to see. And then the other one just comes up with the craziest story. He just lies, actually, but it's pretty cool. Lying's not cool.
It's so cool. I love lying.
But yeah, it's like kids still have imagination, but I feel like there's also a big, like a majority of them is like they have a screen telling them like what to imagine.
Yeah,
if that
a lot
makes
of it's
sense.
almost as the same, is like a social divide where we're all interacting on like the screens instead of like in person.
Yeah,
and I'm more so thinking of like because my little sister, she like never goes out. And she's like always on Discord, always playing like Roblox and stuff. And like mom's trying to get her out and stuff, but she's just not like, doesn't want to go out, doesn't want to be a social butterfly. Like she just doesn't.
And it's interesting because it's like I grew up like obviously in the time of like Discord and stuff like that, but there isn't like I still went out. Yeah. Like I'm a very social person. I'm an extrovert. Like I need to interact with people. And it's interesting seeing that contrast even because like my little brother is very introverted. Mm-hmm. And he's only like a year and a half younger than me. Yeah. So I like, again, that could just be like,
which there's nothing wrong with
no, there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's
not
just
trying to say that. Yeah.
It's really interesting to see how different it is because it's like I'll go out more and he's more comfortable with just being at home, and like that's perfectly fine.
It's just there's such a big like you were saying, there's like a total opposite.
Yeah,
with like the generation,
and it's like even I feel like my dad is more introverted. Like he likes staying in and stuff too. Yeah. So it's like my brother could have gotten that from him as well. But I also think it was different for my dad at the time because there wasn't really a way to interact with people in the confines of your home as easily. So even if you are introverted, you're somewhat forced to be more extroverted, if that makes sense. Like with us now, we have the ability to just fully hone in on being able to just be introverted.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. Like I didn't even think about it, seeing that contrast between me and my brother of only like a year and a half or something. And obviously it's like we're different people. Yeah. So it's like,
yeah, you are way more like outgoing than him for sure. It's like total opposites. And I feel like Rain is kind of your guys is in between.
She's very much in the middle.
She's not like super introverted or not super extroverted. Very much like just right in the middle.
It's also like interesting going to college now too, because like I feel like I don't have a whole lot of friends here. So this past month, like every week, I've had people from home visiting me, and it's been amazing and like so good. And it's also interesting because I've noticed whenever they're here, I tend to be more apt to like doing things like out in public more, because like I have that security, I guess. And it's like, I'm not introverted here. I really want to hang out with people. I really want to interact with people. But it's so much harder for me to do that whenever I don't have someone to do it with. You know,
it's all just a bunch of, because you don't know anyone. It's just like a bunch of random people here.
So I've
completely new area.
Really, I've been working on really hard trying to interact and do things, and it's honestly been really rough. Just figuring out how to, like, I don't really. It's just been rough being able to make connections, especially ones that I feel like will last. Because last year I did make connections, like last semester, and they didn't last.
That, honestly, what you just did there was an amazing transition.
Yeah, I
from
know,
that conversation to this one. I'm assuming we're gonna bring up
that was not on purpose. Yeah,
the special.
So
this is a really fun story.
I got out of a cult.
True.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Lying.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was honestly, I feel bad calling it a cult because I do know these people and I do care about them still. I wouldn't really say we're like friends, I guess, because they don't reach out to me at all.
Yeah, because he's no longer reachable.
Yeah, so
if only you joined.
But yeah, it's kind of. I feel like it is like some sort of like religious cult. So I'm not going to do any name dropping and stuff because I respect their privacy and everything. But it is an interesting topic, and I think it's interesting for people that are going into college to watch out for.
Yeah.
Because even then, the leader of this group, I like talked to him because I noticed most of the people in the group at that time were freshmen, and I was like, why? And he's like, well, I feel like freshmen are the most like approachable and stuff. And I'm like looking back on it now, I feel like it's definitely more like freshmen are not in their element and they're just trying to find a group. So it's very easy to like kind of like
pull them in.
Yeah, pull them in.
They're a lot easier to like attract.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like that's what happened with me because like you
literally were just looking for a church.
Yeah, I was just looking for a church and a community, like a good one. And these guys walked up to me and they're like, hey, you should come to our church. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm looking for a church. So I went and it's not like, it wasn't like a bad church. The worship was pretty cool. I also didn't know any of the songs though, and that was kind of weird.
Still got the vibe out.
Yeah.
They had a trumpet or something.
Yeah, they had horns, they had a saxophone, and that was awesome. So very down for that.
Awesome, especially in church.
I know, yeah. So it was sick, but yeah. My mind just went completely
You know the saxophone
blank.
guy? That's just what I started thinking about.
Like from Regular Show?
I think the dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Is that from Regular Show?
I think so.
Okay, I'm like,
he doesn't have a shirt, right?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
There's so many things and this is total off tangent. We're gonna get back to your topic.
Oh yeah.
From Regular Show, when I started watching it, that I'm like, whoa, that was from Regular Show.
I know.
That was
it's so good. I love it.
Ago.
I love it so much.
But I'm not gonna make the reference of the one I'm thinking about because that could come off racist for me to make to that. It was like the Chinese like bong and the ho ho. You know, I'm trying not. I don't want to like come off.
I know what
way.
you're. I know what you're talking.
You know what I'm
about,
trying to say. I didn't know that was from Regular
Real
Show.
ones get it.
Real ones know what I'm talking about, and don't think I'm racist right now. Anyways, back to your episode. So you joined the church, or you didn't like join it. You kind of went.
Yes.
And then said individual walked up.
And then they were like, "Hey, do you want to like start doing a Bible study?" And I'm like, "I'd love to do a Bible study because." You know. Oh, also disclaimer. Like, yes, I'm a Christian. I have Christian beliefs. I don't want you to think if you disagree with me on anything about to say that like you're wrong. Like, I don't think you're wrong. You are. It's just we disagree, and that's okay.
I disagree with you,
and we're humans.
I don't want to talk to you ever again. Go ahead.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone is like very much like, oh, if you disagree, like this is. Like you're against me. I'm
a lot of people like that.
No,
yeah.
Like I have a lot of friends that believe different things, and I feel like we're able to like coincide very well because we respect each other's beliefs and boundaries. And I think we should all strive to do that.
We should have an episode where we figure out what we disagree on.
That'd
I don't know
really
if I have
interesting.
something that I disagree with you on yet.
That'd be interesting.
Yet.
Yeah, I know. Anyways.
So
this guy was like, hey, do you want to do a Bible study? And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. I really want to like do a Bible study. So the Bible studies were set up really weird. It was like, it was called like Kade's Bible study. It would be a Bible study for me.
They literally named it like that?
Kind of.
Or was it like just kind of
they would call it. They'd be like, hey, this is Kade's Bible study.
Oh, okay.
Let's get ready for Kade's Bible study. I'm like,
yeah, that's...
So it would be me, the leader guy.
AKA Kade's initiation.
And then like 2 other people there that it kind of like, yeah, like 2 other people there. And also the 2 other people didn't really like talk about, like they didn't engage in the conversation really at all. They were kind of just
to a
there.
On that thing.
Yeah. yeah. They were kind of just there. I'm going to ignore that.
Sorry.
I'm ignoring that. But yeah, it was kind of weird just having it where it wasn't like a Bible, like in my head, a Bible study is like we all read something and then we come back and we discuss it, you know? And these Bible studies, he wouldn't even tell me what we were going over. Like we would meet up and he'd be like, all right, let's flip to here and here and here. There would be multiple times where I'd be like, hey, can you like tell me what we're studying? And I'd have to ask for it. And
just so you can do some research beforehand.
Yeah, because
and actually have something to
you know, like I want it to be a discussion, not I'm being talked at, you know? So that was a little weird. And eventually down the line, we were talking about something. And I was like, personally for me, like we got to the topic of baptism. And I was like, personally for me, I do not believe baptism is the point of salvation. And I'm like, you guys, like, if you believe that, like, awesome, cool. That's just not what I believe. And yeah,
so
you know,
they were saying that like you have to get baptized to be saved. Is that what they were saying? Or just like,
so it's kind of confusing. I'll try to explain it as we go.
Okay.
Cause at that point, like nothing else was said.
Yeah. There are still things that even I don't fully get.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
So
it's really hard to explain too. And then like a few weeks went by and they were like, hey, like we do believe baptism is the point of salvation. And I'm like, okay. And they show me like verses that like prove that for them. And so I don't know if they were like expecting you to just be like, oh dang, you're right. Because I didn't do that. And I went in and I like researched myself.
Well, the thing is, there's a lot of younger people are gonna do that because
they'll just be like, oh, okay.
It's because I mean like even I would like feel pressure to do that because like if someone who is clearly like who has like a PhD specifically in like biblical texts and stuff, I would be way more inclined to believe like what they say. So you know what I mean? This
guy doesn't have a PhD.
He just read the Bible once and was like, I understand it now.
This person graduated school and the church was like, hey, do you want to be a campus minister like leader?
Okay. You weren't talking about the pastor.
No.
This is not when the pastor.
This is not the pastor. Okay. We're not.
I jumped ahead of myself.
Yeah.
My bad.
So much. It's so deep.
It goes so deep.
Yeah. So, but they showed me these verses, and so I like went into them myself, and I looked up different verses, and I have a journal like on that shelf over there of like notes.
Yeah.
Of like references and verses being like, this is like. It's so like I brought them my notes and like my reasons of why I believe this, and they were. I just ran out of breath.
You were locked in.
Forgot to breathe. What the heck? Anyways, but they brought up like other like verses, I guess, and I was able to not like debunk, but like stand my ground.
Yeah.
And eventually it got to the point where they were like, let's talk to the pastor. Let's meet up with the pastor and talk about it. And first of all, I feel like that's kind of inappropriate, and it's almost very much like okay, well, this person brought up like reasons that I can't combat, so I'm going to find someone that I know can beat him no matter what, just because, So
I feel like it would be more appropriate if you had like been there longer and like you knew the people more.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, it's like more of like a
I've known these
thing.
people for like 2 or 3 months.
It kind of just
at
like
most.
It was a big like jump, I guess. And I don't know.
So we met up with the pastor, and in my head the entire time I was like, okay, well, like what would my pastor back home be like? And I feel like they would have been more like, hey, this is what we believe and why we believe it, and then be open to what you have to say.
Yeah.
This guy was not like that. He was like, hey, I have a PhD, so I know what I'm talking about. And he was very just like in my face about it, and just like, hey, and it's interesting because he wouldn't like just tell me like, this is what we believe. He would ask me questions in a way, but like it was like in a way to where it would be like he'd try to get me to like trip up.
He's trying to set you up.
Yeah, he's trying to set me up to say something wrong and then like catch me in it. And so that was not fun. And also like the people that were there with me, because it wasn't just me and the pastor, it was like the other guys too that were part of the Bible study.
Yeah.
And they just sat there the entire time. Well, I'm over here like fighting for my life. They just sat there.
Dang.
They didn't even say a word. I'm like, are you for real?
What are you guys here for?
So yeah, and it got to the point where he was like, who told you that baptism is what gets us saved? And I look over to the ministry leader, and he just gives me the most blank stare ever. And I'm like, dude, like
you did.
Like,
speak up.
So I looked, I'm like, did you not tell me that? Because like, I don't want to say something, like, I don't want to say that you said something that you didn't actually say.
Yeah.
And like, he kind of tossed around his words a little bit, and he was like, yeah, kind of. And the pastor was like, okay, well, that's not what we believe. And he told me, like, you don't get saved through baptism, but baptism is how you accept salvation. Where it's like imagine like God is reaching out his hand, and it's like, okay, well, how do you like reach out and receive it?
hand?
And it's like, that's through baptism. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't really see any, personally, I don't see any evidence of that personally. And he also, like, the point where I was just like, okay, like, all right, bud, was whenever his main argument, because there's the thief on the cross. I didn't even bring up the thief on the cross. They did, because I feel like that's the biggest argument of like, well, like, he didn't get baptized and Jesus said he was going to be in paradise with him. So how did he get saved if he didn't get baptized? I didn't even bring that up. They did. And his argument was, Jesus can do whatever he wants. A pastor with a PhD, their main argument was Jesus can do whatever he wants.
I feel like that's almost downplaying everything else that he did and said while he was here on earth. It's just it's just because Jesus can do what he wants, you know?
And it's like, I don't know, with that logic, it's also like, okay, well, since Jesus can do whatever he wants, people can gain salvation without baptism. But I didn't say that. I showed verses. So I don't know. And so that was the point where I was just like, okay, whatever. So I left, like, Thanksgiving break happened. I met up with my pastor back here at home, and we talked about things, and it was, it was interesting. Talking with my pastor just helped me like reaffirm what I believed. And so honestly, like, this entire experience helped me grow a ton. It was just not in the way that they wanted me to grow.
Yeah.
But so anyways, we went back to like school after Thanksgiving break. I met up with the dude for lunch, and it started off with small talk, and it's like I could tell like he kind of had like not like an agenda, but like I could tell why he wanted to meet up. He wanted to talk about things. He's like, so how have you been feeling? I'm like, well, I met up with my pastor, and like I feel like I have looked into this, and like this is what I believe and like why I believe it, and I explained it to him.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Kade.
And well, another thing that I brought up to him, which was crazy to me, this was like more early on, was I brought up like Paul writes, there's a point where he's like, I'm thankful that I did not baptize you guys. And I'm like, so if baptism is the way to gain salvation, he's basically saying, I'm thankful you guys did not get saved. And Paul would not say that. He would not be like, I'm thankful you guys aren't going to heaven. So I brought that up to him, and he was like, yeah, that's a weird thing for Paul to say.
Yeah, like, that's crazy. That's crazy to that's so weird, you know?
Yeah, whenever he, like, his whole mission was to save as many people as he could. And then also, I looked in, there's multiple verses that Paul wrote and stuff of, like, talking about salvation and how it's, like, through faith and stuff like that. But if baptism were as important of salvation as, like, faith is and stuff, I feel like baptism would be brought up every single time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's like a reason for it. And I remember this guy looked at me and he said, yeah, I don't know, maybe Paul should have talked about baptism more in the Bible.
You know, man, maybe you should have written the Bible. Sorry.
Like,
like what?
That's a crazy state. Okay. So you're basically like inadvertently telling me that the Bible was written incorrectly.
Yeah.
Like,
it's wild.
That's like, that's at the point where I'm like, okay, so instead of like reading the Bible and like looking at what it says and being like, okay, well, this is like what it says, you read the Bible and you're like, well, the Bible should mention more of this stuff that I want because I want it to be true. And that's ridiculous. Like that was a point where I was just like, what the heck? Yeah. And honestly, here, I'm going to bring up this verse actually, because this was another thing.
Go crazy.
Well, I'm going to grab my Bible for it.
Go do that.
So this was the verse that they would bring up to me every time. This was like their evidence to like need to be baptized. And to give context, this is during Pentecost, where this is like kind of like the birth of the church. And Peter, one of the apostles, just gave this like sermon that was like really good, and they were all moved by it. And so we're going to start in Acts 2 verse 37. It says, "Now when they heard this, they were pierced to the heart and said to Peter and the rest of the apostles, 'Brethren, what shall we do?' Peter said to them, 'Repent and each of you be baptized in the name of Jesus Christ for the forgiveness of your sins, and you will receive the gift of the Holy Spirit.'" So they would look at that and they'd be like, yeah, Peter says, repent and each of you be baptized in the name of Jesus Christ, and then you'll receive the Holy Spirit. And they'd be like that is saying like be baptized in order to gain salvation. Yeah. And so I looked into it with my pastor, and he was like, if you look into the Greek of it, which is, this is originally written in Greek. Yes. So if you look into the Greek, it says, so it says, each of you be baptized in the name of Jesus Christ for the forgiveness of your sins. That specific instance of for, whenever, because, you know, Greek is weird and they like use like same words, but like it means something different with the way it's like written, I guess.
Or it's really unique.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like just a really like,
because it's a very descriptive language.
Yeah.
So this specific for in different contexts,
we got stuck with English.
This specific version of for in different contexts of the Bible means like because of. So it's basically like, if you look into the Greek, it says like be baptized because of the forgiveness of your sins.
Yeah.
Because you have been saved, not be baptized in order to get saved. So like I saw that and like in the Greek, and I was like, whoa. So I brought it up to this leader.
I can't. Wait, I don't remember what he said. What did he say?
He looked at me and he said,
straight in the eyes,
yeah, someone else brought that up to me once too, but I never really fact checked it. I never really looked into it. So he basically admitted to me at that moment in time, I know more about this topic than you do. Like, I have done more research than you have at this point. And it's like, I'm not just taking someone's word for it and listening to them. Like, I've been looking into it. And even the stuff that my pastor showed me, I looked into it like myself. And I studied it myself.
Yeah.
So that was the point where I was like, okay. And also, I brought all this up to him, and he was like, we should meet up with the pastor again.
Your pastor?
No.
Or like the one from...
No, the one from here.
Oh, you were talking to...
Yeah, the ministry leader guy was like, we should meet up with the pastor again. And I'm like, why? Why would we have to do that? And he's like, well, you still have questions.
He's like... If anyone, I mean, they're the ones that...
Yeah, like...
I mean...
I showed him what I believe, why I believe it, and like the context and like everything. Like proof. And he was like, he was like, those are still questions.
Yeah, he
because
still
it's
thinks
not...
that, like, you're doubting what you're saying or something.
He's like, you're doubting it and you have questions because it's not what I agree with.
Yeah.
What? So, anyways,
even when you going back to like the verse that you brought up just now that you said and stuff, if you like take that out completely, I'm not saying like take stuff out of the Bible and stuff. If you even just take like that out completely, like there's still, I'm not explaining this correctly. Like they're looking at that one verse as the proof of like baptism, like is how you accept salvation.
Yeah.
And ignoring everything else. That's like,
well, it's interesting because I would also like anytime I would show them verses, they would be like, well, it's important to look at the full context of the verse. And then they would show me a verse and then they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and it's also like, well, look at the whole context of like the Bible.
Yeah.
Because there's like, not just in this chapter, in this verse, like there are multiple chapters that like discuss it and go over it. And if you look at the context as a whole, it's like, it kind of becomes a lot clearer, you know, that it's like more so of like baptism. What I was kind of taught was it was like, you do it when you get saved, but it's like more of like a public like sign.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to do it to get saved. It's more of like your like expression of like,
yeah,
your thankfulness or something. I don't really exactly know how to explain it, but
which like the Bible does say you should get like baptized, but it's not saying get baptized in order to gain salvation. It's definitely a commandment from God.
Yeah,
but I feel like it's more like you gain salvation and baptism like comes after that because you're being obedient, you know?
Yeah.
So, but obviously also at the same time, like I'm only 19. So like obviously I don't know all the answers to the Bible.
He's only 19.
Like so
he's only 19.
Don't come at me if I say like a bunch of heresies on accident, I guess. But well, actually, I don't know if I say something and you do think it's wrong, like let me know so I can look into it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just live in a life where it's like I just think I'm right. Because obviously, like, the Bible's so huge and stuff, there's probably stuff I am wrong about in there. And I would rather be right and following God and admitting that I am wrong than living in, like, the rest of my life thinking I'm right just because it's easier.
There are things that I've like read in the past where I'm like, oh yeah, I understand this part of the Bible, but I'll like read that same exact part again and you'll just continue to discover new things.
It's so cool.
And it's just like,
it's actually so cool.
Like I know that I'm not older. I'm like older. I'm 22, but it's like my biblical knowledge is very not very good. I know I need to work on that. But
don't we all though?
Don't we all though? Don't we all? But so it's like same thing with what you say. If I say something that's like heresy, call me out on it, please, because I didn't mean to.
We are doing.
My knowledge is also limited.
Our best to be biblically sound, and I feel like, in a sense, we all are, because like even like scholars don't know everything.
Yeah,
like you can't. It's not possible. And I think there's something beautiful about that too, for sure.
There's always more to learn,
and I love that.
It's great. it keeps like the wonder and like the I don't know what the exact word is.
The whimsy.
The wonder and the whimsy when you read the Bible, you know? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like it's like, oh, I know all this already, so I'm just reading it again. Because a lot of stuff like you'll read, you may know it already, but like you haven't thought about it in like 10 years or something, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
I totally forgot that this was like part of the Bible and like a thing that I don't have to worry about or like stuff like that.
It's so cool.
It's or like concepts that you didn't like understand before that you like start to understand.
It's so interesting looking at a verse and it's like you just see a whole new like perspective inside of it.
Yeah.
That you've never even thought about, and it's just shown to you. Like it's so cool.
Like for me, more like a recent one for me was I understood that like God knew me as a person, and like I couldn't like hide anything like about myself.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, like I know that, but it wasn't, and I didn't realize that it was a concept that I didn't fully like grasp and understand. And then I think it was like 5 or 6 months ago where I finally like I fully like understood it in the concept of like, or when it comes to like salvation and stuff, where I was like doubting whether I was like saved, and I'm like, well, what if I'm not like a good person and all this stuff? But then I thought about, well, God like knows you as a like an individual. He knows like what you believe, what you like truly are like I say like a lot.
That's okay.
It's just because like I said it again. Oh no. I'm really bad at getting like specific words out.
Oh no, for sure.
But it's dude, my brain went numb because I was about to say like again, and I'm like, no, I can't say like.
Just keep
anymore.
going. Just keep going.
I can't say like, because you know how when we sin, you know, like we sin. You smiled when I said like.
Sorry.
No, I can't do it anymore. Okay, you guys are just gonna have to accept that this is part of me. I say like when I'm explaining things.
And that's okay. I feel like I say a lot of words too.
Yeah.
So
it's just part of human nature. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest, if you didn't bring it up at all, I wouldn't have noticed.
Me too, because I just say it and I don't even think about it because it's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways. Oh, where was I?
It was something about salvation.
So when we sin,
yeah.
like sometimes we want to sin, but it's like afterwards we're like, wow, we didn't really want to do that. That was just like something that like
It's human nature.
It's like human nature. You're like, I really didn't like that I did that, but I just did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so knowing it was that concept that I like grasped, that like God knows me and what like I truly believe in and all this stuff. And even though I do fall short, like it's all okay as long as I ask forgiveness. And it was just, it sounds like a really easy concept to understand, but it wasn't like I didn't fully like grasp it together.
Yeah.
And then it like really hit me. We're like, wait, like maybe I am saved, because it's like I want to follow God. Sometimes I don't. That doesn't make me a bad person, because God knows that I still like want to follow him. And I'm like, whoa,
that's cool.
Like I was just getting like wait a minute, and seriously, it sounds like the easiest concept to understand, and I understood it, but it was like, I guess I just never like
it never meshed.
It never like went together.
Yeah,
into one.
yeah.
And then I was just like, wow,
that
crazy.
is sick though.
Anyways, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a great
little segment.
That was good.
We talked about having a serious episode for once. This is the most serious you guys are ever gonna get.
Yeah, I know. And Ty's not even here for it.
Well, he's right here.
Well,
hey, Ty,
here.
so what do you think about baptism?
No, never mind.
Turn him off.
Okay. So where were we? This semester I met up with the ministry leader for lunch, and he was like, how are you doing? Like with your faith and stuff. And I was like, I'm actually doing really well. And he almost seemed like not happy to hear it. He wasn't like, that's good. He was like, oh. And
disappointed.
Yeah. And it's like, it's almost like he really wants me to be struggling so he can like come in and like swoop in and be like the hero or whatever.
And save you. bring you to salvation.
And I also don't think he's ever really approached someone before that has been raised in like a Christian household like this for so long that isn't a part of his church or whatever. Because I can tell, like, in his campus ministry, like, I have brought up things and stuff, and he's said things like, I'm surprised you know this, and all. So it's very much like he doesn't know. I feel like he doesn't know how to, like, approach it, I guess, because it's almost like I know.
He's not used to people actually coming back with, like, sound biblical knowledge to fight back.
It's I can tell he's very used to people just taking in what he's saying. And so anyways, there's that. And so I haven't really talked to them too much this semester, just because, you know, I've been praying about it, and I've been starting at a new church, and I really like the church. I also don't know anyone, so that is a little rough, but it'll buff. It's okay. God got me, for real.
For real.
But anyways,
and that's on God for real.
Last
the only time
week,
you can say that.
Rain texted me, my sister, and she was like,
Ooh,
"Hey,
the juice.
What was the name of this organization?" And I'm not gonna say the name of the actual organization because, again, I don't want to call them out and stuff. Like they can keep doing what they're doing, like whatever. But I gave it to her, and she was like, "Okay, well, I have a friend from over here that's part of this one called ICOC." And I was like, interesting. So I look up the campus ministry's Instagram, and they follow the ICOC Instagram. So they're like affiliated with them. And she was just like, it was interesting because it just sounds really similar. And ICOC is like considered a religious cult.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So like, my sister went down this big rabbit hole. She went through like Reddit threads and stuff. And this person, they would explain it. And it's like, what they do is they will like prey upon you whenever like you're a freshman or whatever, and like try to get you in. And they'll start with these Bible studies. And the Bible studies are like about you. They're like your Bible study. I'm like, that's exactly what I went to.
That sounds quite familiar.
The Bible studies they had like an agenda where it was like you start here, and like I can't remember the order, but it was like you start here and you keep going up until like they baptize you, I guess.
Yeah.
And like that's the direction they were going. Like literally the like schedule of Bible studies was the exact same what they were going through with me. And another thing that they brought up was like they were very much like early on they were way more open about like discussions on like sexual immorality and stuff, and that also happened with me where they like I've known these guys for maybe like a month at most, and one of the Bible studies was talking about like sexual immorality and struggles with that, and they were like, so what are your like how do you deal with it? And I'm like,
that's super personal, and
that's
like,
very personal.
Especially like it's fine to talk about that kind of thing.
For sure.
Like just like the first month, like that's really it's really fast. We're moving a little quick.
Yeah.
Second based already.
it's just that's a very big and deep topic, and very personal. So that was kind of weird. I remember whenever they first brought it up, I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird to bring up so soon, but all right. So they did that, and they also don't believe in like kissing before marriage even. And it's interesting because the ministry leader, he never told us like don't kiss anyone, like don't kiss your girlfriend, but he was very much like, yeah, because he's engaged now, and he's like, I don't kiss like my fiance, like I'm waiting till marriage, I don't kiss her. And it's almost like he took pride in that he didn't.
Yeah.
And it was almost, he worded it in almost a way where it's like, if you do that, like I'm like looking down on you and like slightly judging you. And I'm like, all right. So I mean, I don't have a girlfriend, so it's like that wasn't really an issue for me.
Wasn't really an issue right now, but
and they also, so I'd never dealt with this, but they had they had like these like fake dates. Apparently, like Rain's friend, they had these like fake like encouragement dates where they would just choose a guy and a girl from the organization, and they would like,
this is so weird,
go on dates, but like it wasn't romantic. They would just like do it to encourage each other. And I'm like, that's so weird.
That's like things like like really good friends do, not just like random.
Yeah,
not random necessarily. Like you know them, but you don't like know them.
I know.
I don't know. It just feels really. It's once again really fast.
Like even like I went out and had dinner with like friends that I have that are girls, but it's not like a date.
Yeah,
and it's not like we're doing it to encourage each other. Like we're just hanging out. Like we're just friends, you know?
Yeah.
So I even feel like
chill.
that's weird to do it for the sole purpose of like, I'm here to encourage you. Like, I don't know. That's just like, just hang out. Just hang out.
Just chill, guys.
I never experienced that though. And apparently this group would also, if you dated, they only like wanted you to date inside of this like ministry group. And if you didn't, they would try to bring the person you're dating into this group. And if it did not work out, they would like try to break you guys up. And I never experienced that. The one person that I saw that was in this group that did start dating someone, they also like went into the ministry group as well. So they're both like dating in the group. So I think they're safe or something like that.
They're not going to try and break them up. I would be really interested to see how like to what lengths they would try and break someone up.
I feel like it's more or less,
you know what I mean?
like planting like seeds of doubt in your mind.
Yeah.
Being like, will this really work out? Well, you guys like have like this many things different and all. See, I feel like it's more like slowly.
It's not like, oh, we're gonna go plant a guy outside our house and to tempt her to cheat on you or something crazy like that.
Or, I don't think they would try to like forcefully like push each other. You know, I don't know. They might, depending on
we don't know how serious
college
this is. Yeah,
I've never experienced it, but
to the extent.
Another thing that I did experience that we mentioned was if you disagree with someone enough, they will like assign a time where you meet up with a pastor or like someone of like higher level, and they'll basically just sit there and tell you that you're wrong. And I went through that.
Exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened to me. And yeah, like it's just so much. And also, like another thing that was big that felt really cultish to me was, like they as a whole ICOC believes that you have to like be baptized in order to gain salvation. But so it was always weird to me because I'm like, I am baptized. You know, I'm a Christian. I don't believe that baptism gains salvation, but I am baptized. So I was like, why is this such a big deal to you guys in the first place? Because if I'm baptized in your book, I'm good. You know, like I'm fine either way. So why are you like so mad about it with me?
Did you mention that they wanted you to get baptized again?
So it's interesting because they, I was about to get there.
Okay, I didn't know if you were already jumping.
The organization as a whole, like it's almost like you can only get baptized within this church group. Like you have to get baptized through here, and then it's real.
Culty.
And I'm like, that's
sketchy. Yeah. A little sus.
And even then, it's almost like
that's kind of sus.
They have to like allow you to get baptized. Like you have to like wait for it. Like you have to go through like a process because whenever I first started going to school here and I first went to this church, there was a guy I knew that went there that I just met, and he's like been with them for like a year, and he like just got baptized. Like there. And it's like they made him wait, I guess. Like he had to go through like a process. and it's like, okay, well, it's
Interesting.
like now you're good enough to get baptized. I'm like, that's just weird. So yeah, it's very, yeah, and I'm sure there's other things too that I'm forgetting, but
yeah, I understand that there's a process to like getting baptized sometimes, because like you'll meet up with your pastor.
Oh yeah, because
like ask you like
it's like, do you
basic biblical
actually
questions.
understand what it means?
Yeah.
But with this, it was almost like we're seeing if you're good enough to get baptized.
Because the church that I'm in now, like we went there in the first month I got baptized, because I'd never been baptized before. Because I was in a Presbyterian church.
Okay. Yeah.
And they because they baptize as a baby, they just like put the water on your head and
stuff. Gotcha. Yeah.
And I was never like a firm believer in that.
I'm
so
not.
Then we
personally...
went to a Baptist church and we got baptized.
Hey.
Hence the name. Baptist.
Let's go. Yeah, another thing too was that Rain found out was if you like disagree with them and stuff, they will reach out to you however many times, and then they will kind of just consider you like a lost cause, and then they'll just stop reaching out. And it's interesting,
which is kind of literally what's going on with you right now.
Yeah, they never like tried reaching out to me a bunch. And that could also be because of last semester and stuff. Like, they could kind of tell that I wasn't like wavering in my belief.
Yeah.
So they could have just been like, oh, it's a lost cause now. But they have not reached out to me. Like, I've gone to... Oh, also, I'm not going to say the name of what they call their meeting time, because I feel like that might call out what the organization is.
We don't want to do too much.
But
we don't want to get in trouble.
They called their meeting time the exact same thing as like what the cult called it. It's like verbatim.
There's so much correlation. There's too much correlation that it has to be.
Yes.
Like you 100% just dealt with
for
cult.
sure.
It's crazy.
And it's crazy. But like, yeah, I've gone to their like meeting time maybe like once. I've gone once this semester. And they haven't like reached out to me. Not like, hey, you want to go hang out? Do you want to maybe go do this? Like nothing. Yeah. Nothing. I ran into them the other day, like on campus, because I was like reading, and like they were grabbing lunch, and two of them walked up to me and talked, and like there was like 2 minutes of small talk, but they didn't even like invite me then to this. So it's really interesting. Just like, okay, well, if you guys were actually my friends, you'd be like, hey, do you want to hang out? Do you want to, like, why aren't you coming to this? They just stopped. So it's very much like, okay, well, I guess this isn't like legit, so I'm gonna make my way out of here. Cause
see you guys. Yeah, it's
you
mentioned like at the beginning of the podcast how like they weren't reaching out, so it's like, yeah, I mean, there's just no one. It really is just almost like cutting ties with you.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, like, why would I
almost like we put in ties with Ty? What do you think, Ty? They're actually all racists. Ty.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. That's a huge assumption.
Oh my gosh, Ty, don't get us canceled. We definitely haven't said worse things.
So yeah, that's kind of the cult that I was part of and escaped. Oh, also, Elijah was here like literally yesterday, because he spent the night here because his family is going on vacation to Florida, and this is a good halfway point for them because he lives in Knoxville right now for school, and Murfreesboro is on the way to Florida for his parents. So he just spent the night here.
And now everyone knows you live in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, I live in Murph. Murph is awesome.
More like Smurfeesboro.
Come hang out with me. I need friends. I really need friends. Anyways,
you guys should hang out with him, hit him up like for a couple months, and then never talk to him
again. Hey, you want to join our cult? and then cut me off. But anyways, Elijah's mom was also like during her college. She was also like dragged into a cult, and we found out she went to a different school, but we found out her cult was also under ICOC.
Same thing.
Like, it was the exact same thing. And she talked about, like, how they do, like, the Bible studies, too. And she actually did get baptized through them. But, you know, she ended up leaving. What's interesting to me, though, is she brought up, like, she was surprised that it was still around because it's very widely known as a cult.
Interesting. Maybe that's why they're so, like, silent about it. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
because they
They're
never
not open about that.
they never brought up once that they were a part of ICOC or anything. They were, I don't want to say they were like hiding it, but they also never showed it at all. And also, like, with the ministry leader, I can't say anything for the pastor because I feel like the pastor does know more than what this guy does, because, you know, he's a pastor, so I feel like he's more aware. But at least with the ministry leader, I feel like he's somewhat, I don't think, obviously he doesn't think it's a cult.
Yeah.
But it's like he would, I feel like he thinks that what he's doing, like, is fine, if that makes sense. He's not like, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
But does that make sense?
I kind of get it. I also don't sort of get it, but at the same time, that's okay.
Okay.
That's all right.
I had a good way to explain it, and then it all just left. Yeah. And another thing is, I would talk to the ministry leader, and I would ask him, I would be like, because I feel like a lot of people call, like, Christianity a cult and stuff, just because, you know, it's like a religion and it's a group of people, you know, like a lot of people do call things like that, just cults, just because. And so I'm like,
that's like calling the book club at your local library a cult. Come on. I'm sorry.
but it's like people,
we want to get together.
I talked to the ministry leader, and I'm like, okay, so, like, you know, people have approached you being like, it's a cult. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, and I'm like, okay, how do you explain to them that this is different from a cult?
Yeah.
Because it is. And he's like, I'm like, how do you explain that? And he could never give me an answer. He would always just be like, yeah, but we're not, though. And I'm like, how? And he'd be like, we're not.
You're right, sir. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's
right.
very much, you know, like, I do feel like Christianity is different from a cult, because with a cult, it's like you have to be let in, and it's like there's no way out, and there's like, I don't know how to explain, like ceremonies and stuff, and it's like I feel like you have to do things.
Yeah,
and I feel like with Christianity, it's definitely more of like a community thing where it's like you don't have to do anything, like it's a gift.
Yeah,
like
true Christianity. Like,
yes,
there are still people that will be like, they'll follow like Christian rules and stuff, but they will be way cultish and like stuff like that.
Yes,
kind of like what we just explained. You know, because like I went to the church that you went to, and things, they felt off, but I didn't like know. I thought it was just like, oh, this just.
I mean, I went for a whole
vibe.
semester.
It just isn't my vibe, and so I'm like, oh, this is just not.
Honestly, I was like, oh, well, this is just a new church environment. Yeah. I just have to like get used to it. It did feel off to me too. Yeah,
that's kind of like where I just chalked it up to like, oh, I just not used to like the really high, hyped up, like, lots of like amen and like
pastor. I know. It's
but and the pastor did seem a little full of himself, just a teensy bit. And turns out that's a little true.
just a wee bit.
A wee bit. But yeah, anyways, as you're saying. But yeah, like in general, like true like Christianity, like you're not like, you don't have to come to church or
I mean like
you're not it's
not like if you don't go to church you're not saved.
Yeah,
you know?
Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not like,
obviously it's encouraged because it's like, you know, it's a community. Like you need I feel like everyone needs some sort of community. And it like I feel like a church is a good community.
I mean, that's how kind of like,
and it's like
humans need.
It's like about like building each other up. Like it's not, you know, I feel like that's very different than a cult. And also, like obviously, if I did more research on it, I'd be able to give way better answers. But this is also like off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But
if you actually have a problem and don't believe us, like, hit us in the Just Cousins DMs, and we will give you real researched
bullet points. We'll give you bullet points and pie charts.
Yeah, we're gonna go crazy.
But
I might even give you a tier list of the best ones.
Yeah. Anyways,
we love our tier lists.
So with that being said,
I gotta pee so bad.
I've now been working really hard on reaching out. I'm part of this music group. I think it's okay to say I'm part of ODP. It's called Omega Delta Psi at MTSU. It's a really cool organization.
Super culty.
It's weird.
Omega Delta Psi.
So it's a fraternity. It's a fraternity, but like it's not like we don't do stupid frat stuff. It's just the only way that the school would let us make this organization is if it was under a fraternity for some reason or something like that.
That is weird.
So that's why it is what it is. But like it's all about networking and like getting to know people and like hanging out and like finding opportunities to play music and stuff. So I've been trying to engage in that more, and I'm really excited for it. It's still a little rough for me because it's just like me going into this, and it's like I don't really know people. And the one person that I do know, she's like on the staff, so it's like whenever I go to the meetings, she's like doing things. So I'm kind of just sitting here like. So I don't know, but I think I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be good. Pray for me and that I don't know,
get friends
and good ones and lasting ones and all that. Honestly, for not having
we're maidenless right now. Get him a maiden. We need did you know they do that? You know Elden Ring, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
like at the very beginning, you're like, you are maidenless. I'm like, wow, you know, to be so mean. Anyway, sorry.
Also, like finding a relationship is not on like my top priority list. By the way, I know a lot of people are like, I need a relationship. Like,
I need a woman.
Like, it would be nice to be in one, but it's like I don't need one.
Yeah,
I don't need one right now. Like, it's like if God deems it, yeah, I'm ready to party rock. You know. Okay. Also, tangent. Because you brought up Elden Ring. I think me and you both agree on this. So, as a concept and as a game, Elden Ring is really cool.
Yes.
And like beautiful, really interesting. I hate Elden Ring.
I hate it so much. I haven't finished it.
I played the game. I got out of the tutorial cave and instantly died like twice, and I'm like, I'm done. I have not played the game since. Even my friend Seth, I want to get on the podcast sometime soon.
I'm surprised he hasn't been on yet.
Me too.
He just is never around for like the actual episode.
I know,
and stuff, but he's an awesome dude.
Love Seth.
He's 100% gonna be on.
I don't know. Have you met AJ? He's a chiller.
I think I have met him.
Shout out AJ and Seth. We're gonna get them on eventually. But yeah, no, Seth plays Elden Ring, and like he plays games, and he likes the concept of Elden Ring, but he is even like, yeah, Elden Ring sucks. And apparently there's no storyline. Like the only way to understand like the story is if you like read descriptions of artifacts and stuff.
Yeah.
There's no set direction. They like what I like about like I'll play Zelda, and it's like I won't play for a bit and I get back on and it's like, okay, I can go through like my adventure log and remember what my objective is. With Elden Ring, there's not that at all.
Yeah.
Like you just have to, if you stop playing for like a month to do something and then you come back, you just have to remember.
Yeah. It's really interesting, but it's like done so well. Like Elden Ring really doesn't have like a specific course that you kind of like. It does have a course you follow, and there is like a specific like you go here to do this and you go here to do this. But if you ask me what the general storyline of is, I couldn't tell you. I mean, the general storyline is that you are trying to become like the Elden King. You're trying to get the Elden Ring, and the pieces of the Elden Ring are like these like bosses have it, and these like 6 bosses, and you have to defeat them to get the Elden Ring. That's like the plot, or that's like what you have to do. It's very like surface level, just like gotta kill these guys to get the ring, and that's it. But the just the overall like world building and like the lore, if you do want to get into it, it's so like rich, and like the world is so beautiful and just like so well done. That's why it's such a good game, is because they put so much effort into it that it's like it's crazy, because like it really doesn't it's really just not like a story game. It is just like a really hard, like very, very difficult game. I don't even think I'm halfway, and I've got like 100 hours already in it.
Oh gosh.
And I'm like, oh man, dude, it just keeps going. And I think I've defeated like 2 or 3 of the big bosses, so I think I'm close to halfway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like I don't know. I feel like I'd enjoy the game if they gave me like a clear like objective, because like even with like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, you get so much freedom to do so many things.
Yeah.
And I love that, but it's also like there's still a main story and there's still an objective. So like you can explore and do all this, but like there's still like it still feels like there's meaning to what I'm doing. Like I can't get into Minecraft. I've tried so many times to get into Minecraft.
Yeah.
Because they just throw you in and they're like, all right.
Build.
And it's like I can't do, or like Animal Crossing. I bought Animal Crossing on the Switch and I sold it because I can't get into games where like you just like I like having freedom, but I prefer more linear, like you know.
I could also never get into Minecraft. Like
It's
a solo world. I'm doing one with my girlfriend right now, and it's like it's great. Like it's super fun.
multiplayer
Just
is fun.
because it's like you're just like doing cool stuff with someone. If you're just
Yes.
alone, I've tried to start solo like creative worlds where you just build stuff, and I can never like get deep into it because I'll just be like, what's the point?
I know, and it's like
You know,
I would have
it's
so
like-
much more
It's not
fun
like I'm making memories or something.
playing Final Fantasy 16 where there's this story that's
Yeah.
like, you know.
Speaking of story, I finished the first God of War and I'm almost done with the second. Oh my gosh,
Is it good?
It's so good. Like
I
recommend it to anyone who wants wants a really good story-driven, great combat, like just really smooth game.
I have the second God of War, but I don't have the first one.
It's worth.
So that's why I haven't played the second one yet.
Yeah, it's. Yeah.
We should find a video game store. I can buy the first one.
Just go get it. The first one's definitely much different than the second one.
Which one do you like more?
Second one so far.
Okay. Like story wise or gameplay wise or both?
So gameplay wise and just the UI in general, the first one.
Interesting.
Just because literally when I opened up the second one and I just looked at like how they designed everything, I was like, this looks like terrible compared to the first one, because it was very just like plain and like black and white and like this here. I do like that they simplified it a little bit because it was a little complex and in like the first one, but I did like
It's
the
also like make
complexity.
it fun at least, you know.
But so at first I was like, the second one's not going to be as good, but you can tell that they put all their money into the story, because it's immediately, you're just so immersed. You immediately are just fighting Thor. And it's just the most.
I would rather have a good story. You know?
That's when I was like, okay, wait, because at first I got on and I'm like, I was so demotivated to play because I'm like, this is just not going to be as good as the first one. And I was just like, come immediately 360. I'm like, you know what? I can deal with the black and white, boring looking UI if I get this crazy stuff, because it's still the combat's still really good. But it's
what you need to play next is Ghost of Tsushima. Mm-hmm. That might be one of my favorite.
My list.
It's that might be my favorite
really
combat
good
in any game. It's fun. Ghost of Tsushima, and then both of the Last of Us games.
I do need to play those.
The Last of Us, like both of them. I consider both of them as like one game, I guess, because it's like they're both so good, they're interchangeable for me, but they're like top 3.
Have you played the second one?
Yes.
What do you think of it? I've heard so many people say that they like hate it.
So I understand why they hate it. I love it because I think it's a really good story. I hate Abby. You don't know who she is yet. You will.
I think I do.
I hate Abby.
I watched Donkey
but it's
review.
also like I understand Abby and I understand her character now, because the whole point of it is like Abby is Joel,
Yeah.
but she's also the antagonist. So it's almost like okay, well, now you realize, like, she did the exact same thing he did. It's the only reason why you see her as an antagonist is because you don't follow her. You haven't been following her for 2 games and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. I still don't like her.
Who's the main girl again?
Ellie.
Ellie, okay.
I still don't like Abby, but I understand her as a character, and I respect it. And I think it's a very interesting direction that I feel like a lot of people would have been scared to take, and I'm glad they did take it because it makes a good story. Mm-hmm. And Ellie's character goes through so much development, and it's so cool to see. And I think there's plans for a 3rd one.
I hope so.
And I think that might be
going.
like the last one.
The Last of
Yeah, I think they're going to make it a trilogy.
That'll be The Last of Us.
But, oh my gosh, I love The Last of Us so much. I replayed the first one a few months ago, and it's so good. I'm thinking about maybe replaying the second one, too.
Yeah.
They're both great. Like, I think they are both interchangeably equally great quality. The show is phenomenal.
I can't wait for season 2.
Oh my god, it's really soon, too.
Yeah.
Like, really soon.
Spoilers, I'm not excited for when Joel dies.
Yeah,
just for like, I like Pedro Pascal.
I didn't tell Rain. Rain didn't know he was gonna die.
She did it,
and then Ty told her. And like, I was trying so hard to keep this secret from her, and then Ty told her. And
gosh dang it, Ty!
I'm joking, Ty. I love you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Spoilers. The only thing I know about the second one is that Joel dies, and that Ellie didn't kill Abby at the end. And,
okay, yeah.
And I don't know, I don't know any of the storyline. I don't know why. I just know that people were mad about those. I know Abby. I'm
glad that she didn't kill her. I think it makes for a better story where it's like, okay, I am the bigger person here, if that makes sense. Also, my theory is that the Last of Us, like, part 2 game is going to be split up into 2 seasons.
Yeah.
There's a very clear point.
Cut you off. I really need to go to the restroom.
All right. There's a very Joseph's going to go pee. There's a very clear point in the game. It's just me.
Hey, talk to Ty.
Yeah, Ty. So there's this very clear point in the game in the middle where it like cuts off in like a cliffhanger, and I think that's where they're gonna be like, oh, end of season 2, and then season 3 is gonna pick up after that. It's gonna be like, what? Do you like this mug? It has a moose on it. It's from Colorado. This one's from New York. It's from the Starbucks Reserve over there. That place is actually really cool. It's better than a normal Starbucks. I want to go to the Starbucks Reserve in Seattle. I want to go to Seattle. I kind of want to live in Seattle. Because it's like, it's up north. It's in Washington State on the West Coast. That's pretty chill. I like really big mountains. The Rocky Mountains are right here. I like beaches, but I hate sand. There's rocky beaches over here. It's a city. I love cold, rainy weather. It rains there like over half of the year. Like, it's just cloudy and rainy. I love that. I love it. Oh my gosh, I want it so bad. It's just Washington State is so far away from Tennessee and Indiana. And also, I'm happy living in Tennessee. I don't know if I'm going to do it for the rest of my life. But indefinitely, I'm pretty happy, like, living here. In my head, like, ever since I've been, like, 11 or 12, I've always liked the idea of, like, living in Tennessee because it's not too far away. And Tennessee is a pretty chill spot. There's a lot of music opportunities. And me being a little drummer boy. Also, anyone in Murph or Nashville or whatever, because I'm like right by Nashville as well. If you need a drummer, let me know, because I play drums. A lot of people say I'm way too modest about it because I feel like I'm not the best drummer in the world, but I would also argue that I'm not the worst drummer in the world. I need people to play music with until Ty gets around to it. I'm supposed to be, I hope so. I hope I'm still your drummer, Ty. Ty, can you let me know whenever you listen to this if I'm still your drummer or not? Because I would love to stay your drummer. But yeah, this is my apartment. You saw it last time, but I got some cool stuff. I've been reading. I've started reading more books now. Because I noticed I don't hate reading. I just hate reading stuff that I don't want to read. And so I got this book. It's Tom Selleck's memoir, and it's actually really good. He's the dude in Magnum PI, and I now want to watch the show. I've seen like a few episodes, but I want to watch the show all the way through because I think that would be a lot of fun. And I also didn't know this. So like my role model, my guy that like I wanted to become so bad whenever I was older was Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones. Phenomenal. I love Indiana Jones so much. Tom Selleck was almost Indiana Jones. George Lucas and Steven Spielberg hit him up to be Indiana Jones, and Tom Selleck had to deny the offer because it was like a scheduling conflict with Magnum PI. So that was really interesting. Joseph, come back, Joseph. Come back, Joseph. Oh gosh. To the people that say February or whatever, because it's spelled like that, screw you. Okay? It's February. Same with possum. People that say opossum, screw you guys. Okay? It's possum. I don't even spell it with the O anymore at the beginning. I spell it Possum because opossum is the dumbest thing ever. And I will stand by that. That opossum. That makes me mad even thinking about it. I'm going to be for real. I want a motorcycle. So if anyone has a motorcycle they can give me for free, that'd be awesome. Joseph just told me I was doing a great job in the bathroom. How are you? Are you doing a good job? Joseph said he's also doing a great job in there. My mind went blank. I'm not thinking about anything right now. I'm sorry. I've really been put on the spot here, gang. But maybe this'll be good for me, for you guys too. You know, maybe we How did my yap?
So you know how like this might be a man only experience. You know how like when you're in the bathroom and you have to take off your shirt because you have to lock in.
Did you just do that?
I had to lock in, bro.
So funny.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyways, so where did the conversation lead to? I don't know how you went on for so long. That was great.
That was really scary. There was a point of like dead air.
Was
like,
there?
Like 30 seconds, and
We'll
I was
cut
scared. Okay.
I'll cut it out.
Or
I'll leave it in.
Okay.
So I just bought Red Dead Redemption.
I still need to play Red Dead.
It was on, dude. It's usually like $60.
Yeah.
And I finally, you look
the
so
second
happy
one?
that I'm here now.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm so glad.
Was it the second one?
I bought the second one. Yeah.
Okay.
The first one.
The first one's been out for a little
bit. Get it
bit.
on PC or not?
Really?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't looked at it before, but yeah, no, I just got the second one. It was on like sale for like 90%. I got it for like $10.
Gosh, that's a good deal.
Yes. It was like some what was a recent holiday? It might have been like Christmas or something.
Memorial Day.
It might have been Memorial Day because it wasn't Christmas.
Okay.
So it had to have been something more recent. Maybe it wasn't Valentine's Day. Anyways, yeah, I got it. Once I'm done with God of War, dude, I'm jumping right into another great game.
I kind of need a good like story-driven game right now because the last one there's still stuff I can do in it. But the last one that I kind of like finished the main story was Cyberpunk.
Ooh, I haven't played that yet.
It's fun. I like it, but it's also like I need something else right now.
Is it technically story-driven?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was or not, or if it was like more of a combat,
and
like GTA or something.
No, it's more story driven. I feel like, and there's a lot of like
GTA is also story driven.
Yeah,
I don't even know why I said that. I'm like, wait, GTA has a great story.
There's a lot.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't played it, but I'm not.
There's a lot of like side quests and stuff that are really like they're they could be main quests in Cyberpunk. They're like really good.
That's good.
So it's like a lot of good stories, a lot of good side stories. It's just I want something else right now.
Yeah.
Like I can't do a game, just one game for the longest I can is with The Legend of Zelda. Because I love Zelda so much. Yeah, but I need a new game to kind of just pass time by. I also like Final Fantasy. I restarted Final Fantasy 15 over winter break. I could probably finish that.
Yeah.
But
if you guys have any game suggestions for Kade,
let me know.
Let him know, because he needs some games to play.
A Nintendo Switch and a PlayStation 5.
He's got the big guys.
Yeah.
Spent all his money on that. And now he's broke.
Well, I'm broke because I'm in college. And I don't have a job.
And only because of that.
So I'm looking for a job.
Not because we just spent $50 on...
crack.
And that's going to be for the next episode. We try crack.
Crack tier list.
Crack tier list. Which ones that? So this we bought from Jimmy on the corner of 4th and Main. His going B tier.
My favorite is probably from Tyreek.
On the freaking rooftop? Yeah.
Yeah, rooftop Tyreek
That's like
crack.
S tier, bro.
S tier crack.
We tried some of them beforehand. Sorry.
Yeah.
But we'll do them all for you guys.
Anyways, I got nothing right now.
Nothing
I feel like we've been going for a good amount. I honestly
like we only have like 2.5 hours of recording time on my camera.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So
bye guys.
Which I think will be fine because we can probably. I don't know. We'll find. We'll find
figure it out. Love you guys.
Yeah,
I guess.
Great episode.
Love
this
you,
was already
Ty.
our first like serious-ish episode. Like,
yeah, I know.
Started like
it was
actually good discussion.
That was nice. I'm down for more like that. What discussions do you want us to talk about, guys?
Do you guys want to talk about how women can't,
except we're not doing politics. I hate politics. I do not care.
I want to talk about how Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard and
Yes!
Trump looks like an orange.
Yes,
Those
I
kind of
like
stuff.
that.
We can talk
I like
about
that.
people who are in politics, but not about politics.
Like I'm
You know
not
what I
doing
mean?
politics but I'm down for more serious discussions.
Like Trump definitely goes to freaking Express Tan every weekend. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Like really?
The Republicans are gonna eat us alive now. They're gonna come for us.
They are. We're done for.
But yeah,
I'm a Republican. It's okay, guys.
I'm neither.
Dude, I was
I'm
really
not
trying
even
to
kidding.
get him to just say something.
I ask people. This is kind of funny.
Trying to get you political.
I've had people be like, "Yeah, I'm Republican," and I'll be like, "Okay, I'm Democrat," and then I'll have people be like, "I'm Democrat,and I'm like, all right, well, I'm Republican." Like I just change my answer with whatever they're
it's
not.
such an easy way to gauge what kind of person they're going to be.
Oh yeah.
Like if they still associate themselves with you and you're like the opposite, then it's like, okay, like
wait, this is actually a chiller.
You're actually like someone who is like worth knowing.
No, I'm
not saying that like not saying that like if you're a Republican
you
only talk to Republicans and you hate Democrats, not saying you're a terrible person. I just don't agree with you.
You're also like
This is the most political we're getting right now.
Majorly biased. Yeah. It's not like I'm not choosing a side
We're
because
just judging
I'm
your
not,
personality.
But yeah, like I don't know, just love everyone, respect each other's beliefs, like we said earlier in the podcast.
Hey,
you know, like no, I'm quite genuinely like neither on the political party spectrum. Is it a spectrum?
I don't know if you could. I don't know.
Is it called the political?
We're gonna call it the political spectrum.
It
might be called that. It sounds like a familiar
sounds
word.
right. But anyways,
sounds right.
I'm on neither, and I hate politics. So we will not be talking about politics.
Long story short, no politics.
And but I'm down for like serious topics.
Yeah.
So,
but we want Ty here to join in.
Yeah, you could pull up. You could.
No. Come on, Ty. I don't wanna. Come on, please. No.
Okay, we should.
All right. Have a good night.
We'll
see you guys.
Bye.
Okay.